Good morning, everybody. It's a Monday morning, a merry Monday morning, a happy morning. I hope for each and every one of you. We've got so many stories to get to today. Some of them are going to be, signs of the things to come. The apocalypse for media, whatever you would like to refer to it as. There's some bigger concerns than I think a lot of people even realize. And you know what? They brought it on themselves. That's right. They made this situation for themselves much worse than it needed to be. They created all of these conditions, whether it be cable and satellite providers, linear television folks, or even the streaming folks. These studios have done themselves a disservice across the board, and we're definitely going to be talking about it. But we're going to do that together, and I want to say hi to as many of you as we possibly can fit in over the next few moments. I just want to say I am glad you're here. We've got lots to do. 63 minutes. That's right, Brian. You were here early. Thanks for being here. And we're actually not going to have as long a show today as we normally would. We're not going to cut it terribly short. We will have some bonus time. But it's going to kind of focus on things that I think are important and things we do need to talk about. We got Snortopoops Cuber out there, our favorite polar bear. We've got the lovely Ruby Hoove, who's back home, which I'm happy. Hopefully she's feeling better. Dr. Jill Powers is out there. We got a few other folks rolling in the door, like the most famous Morgan King. And let's see, a few other folks as well, like Jed Revenwood. Hope you're doing well, Jed. Thanks for being here. Curtis Joseph's out there in the world. We got a few more folks sneaking in, and I appreciate each and every one of you. FKHC 2005, great to see you here. I'm glad you made it this morning. And a few other folks. Now, we are live around the world. That's the benefit of YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Mindsgetter, and X. And since I'm broadcasting to 3 or 4 of those platforms simultaneously, I will say we're probably touching most, if not all, countries. So well done to us. Say hi to your friends in the chat. They may be from across the pond. You don't know. We've got Scott Cook out there. We got D. Bud Martin in the house. The lovely Penny. And Angela Richter drops her famous gifty of a CultureCasino membership. Thank you, Angela. I love the image. I know you change it every once in a while, but gotta love that. Well, what else do we have? Let's see. We got a few other folks sneaking in on the green machine, like Crazy White Boy, and many, many more. Let's see. Ruby Hoove drops a gifty. Of course, a CultureCasino membership. That's 2 this morning. Let's keep it going, guys. I love it. You guys are keeping me employed, for lack of a better way to say it. $2 from Ruby Hoove. $2 in Culture Cash saying, hey, everyone have a wonderful day. We'll be listening. Well, I'm grateful you're here, dear, and I hope everything's going well. Gollum is over there on the green machine, and the lovely RC is out there as well. Fat Elvis reminds you to hit the like button, please. Thumbs up, and have a nice morning cup of coffee. Grim is here. We got Joseph A. out there. Good to see you, my friend. And many, many more, like O.C. Dobbins. All right. Let's get to it, folks. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in, but let's start first with the box office. Of course, I dropped a box office video earlier this morning. Hopefully the mods will let you know where that is, when that is, and you can watch it right after the show today. You can see here Lilo and Stitch is nearing $800 million global. It does have a shot at that $1 billion mark, but this is one of only 2 movies that really had a legitimate shot at that number. And looking less and less like a certain and maybe a potential on this particular film. Mission Impossible is not doing great, topping 450 million, getting a lot of play over in China and other countries, though, which is very, very good. Ballerina did not get what we were looking for, 51 million worldwide. I talk about some of the reasons why that didn't happen in this morning's video. You're definitely going to want to check that out. Moving on, though, we got to get to the fact that Ballerina did only manage $25 million domestically, which makes no sense to me. The movie was good. Everybody that I've talked to has said it's good. All the people that do reviews that are in my sphere have said it was good, so I don't get it. I had a lot of fun with it. It wasn't a lot of Mary suing. In fact, there was none of that. It's not going to be like Fantastic Four, which will flop because of its female-centered message, where it's only the ladies that seem to matter. You've got a judge rejecting the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's request to block Trump from removing board members. Well, he can do pretty much whatever he wants. If it says that, it means that, and it does. We've got Dish parent EcoStar preparing for bankruptcy filing, but that one gets worse, and we'll get to that one in a moment, which means that Dish and Sling could be in big trouble with a Chapter 11 case that may limit or remove their service at some point. Warner Brothers is the other story of the day in the media world, where Discovery and Warner Brothers are going to split into two companies, one for streaming and one for global networks. And here we are back again where I thought we would be after the reverse Morris Trust, which was either a preparation for sale or a preparation for division. This may go back to being like HBO versus like linear TV, and that's kind of what it needed to be. I want to say thank you for the Red Rose from Miss Martin Muses. Go check out Miss Martin's channel. She is the inspiration for me actually having a YouTube channel, believe it or not. I was inspired by many, many creators, but getting me to do something live, it's all her responsibility. She's one of the best people on the planet, and please support her. The majority of Warner Brothers Discovery's $37 billion debt is going to be spun into the TV network side. This is a continuation of maybe what could be some of the worst news for streaming ever. It's really starting to expose just how bad a deal that was in the first place. Gavin Newsom, of course, California's burning, is demanding that Trump remove the National Guard from L.A. Amid the ICE riots that were supported by, well, not only himself, but also Mayor Bass, who probably should be in jail right now, rotting away. We have an Australian reporter in a dangerous place getting hit with a rubber bullet. At least it wasn't a real bullet. And to be fair, you put yourself in those situations, bad things could happen, and usually do. How to Train Your Dragon soars in the Korean box office as it gets a release a week before when it's going to be here. A lot of people are spinning this film as being pretty good. I will be seeing this this Thursday, and we will talk about it at that time. But I guess the live action take is stretching its wingspan, meaning they changed it. They changed this movie from the animated version. Lots of new lines, dialogue was changed, people's efforts and their motivations are different. That's very bad. Whoopi Goldberg is co-founding a women's sports network, so she's gonna, well, throw money into a hole, pour gasoline on it, and burn it with fire. And look, I don't care if Pluto's launching this as its own fast channel or not. I don't think there's going to be a lot of revenue in it, no matter where you get these women's sports from. But hey, we'll see. Apple heads into its annual showcase of, showing off their tech, which they haven't really done anything new in a long time outside of AI, which they majorly failed at if you talk to Apple users. This is going to be something that they're going to have to deal with in the quote-unquote trade war, or just the tariffs out of China. But they were already moving manufacturing, and most companies already were as well. Getty Images is going to go against Stability AI and figure out whether or not you can do what has been done by scanning all the images from Getty and repurposing them with AI into training. And this is going to be a problem. We're seeing this with scripts and books as well. British government is pulling back on a policy that was there to freeze their own citizenry on the heating subsidies for retirees. At least they figured out that making old people freeze wasn't going to make them popular with their countrymen. We'll see what happens from here. China says its exports fell 35% in May. It'll probably fall even more if they don't get this thing resolved, which, guess what? They're trying to do that right now as we speak. U.S. and China holding trade talks in London after the phone call between Trump and Xi. We'll see if that works out. We've got a black bear spotted at a North Texas gas station. This brought to us by a newscast outside of the Savoy, Texas area, showing off a black bear just rolling through the parking lot. There's a lot attendant there at the place, or maybe even just a citizen, and black bear is just gonna roll into frame here at some point. Let's see, there he is, just strolling through the gas area. Hello. Yeah, maybe that's not the way to go towards the cars, But the gas station has trash cans, and that's probably what he was hunting for. Anyway, I thought you would appreciate a bear story at the end, and I hope you did. We got one more thing that I'm going to talk about when we get to that part of the show during bonus time, and I just want to say thanks for being here. Hey, let's get to bonus time. Someone actually suggested to me something that I had tried to do a couple of times, and that is to take the 6-minute daily and cut it into pieces. So one of the things I've decided to do is add a live channel to the mix, a archive channel, so to speak. And what that live channel will do is we'll have this live available, and on that live channel, we'll also have this particular show cut into just a 6-minute portion with the actual 6-minute daily that you can go and revisit later. That's going to be a Herculean effort on my part because I don't have anybody else working with me. And I'm also launching the reaction channel here pretty quickly, hopefully by the end of this week. And if all of that actually happens, yeah, there is no sleeping, but I do it all for you. And I'm just going to say, I think you're all worth it. Let's say hi to those of you who sent messages during the course of the stream, and some big thank yous to folks like Randall Orser, who sent me a Canadian $7 in Culture Cash, saying, highly recommend Mercy for None, a Korean gangster movie. It's great with Colby Atmos. You get to hear every knife thrust. Amazing. That's great sound design, I would call. But I have to tell you, the Korean film market is very good. You can find some amazing things there, and obviously they support cinema. So I will say thank you to that. And I'm just happy to be here after 5 years hanging out with all of you. We had a few other folks just popping in on the stream while we were up and running today. Let's see if we can say hi to some of the folks that just arrived. I guess Jaylee got a gifty from Ruby Hoo. That's the person who received that amazing membership. Let's see. Yeah, the Snape casting, Curtis Joseph asking question. The Snape casting is being rumored to being changed. I don't know if that's true. I mean, a lot of my people in my sphere have covered it. Like there's a decent chance that rumor is true. I suspect it possibly could be. Would I be surprised? No, because I think a lot of these media companies are now realizing that all these elements, these stunt casting, the checkbox mafia is trying to enforce policies that would make them do specific things. I think they've realized that not only is that unpopular, it could make fewer people interested in their product. And for a company like Warner Brothers Discovery, who is in the process of splitting in two, as we learned earlier today, they're going to need support, and they're going to need money. And to get both of those things, you have to start acting like the audience and listening to them and giving them the things that they want. And I think there's going to be less neo-Marxism and anti-American sentiment and more things that people will enjoy. I think that it will also be the actor who gets cast as Voldemort may be a problem. I didn't even realize that, my friend, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think we're going to have to. I think we're going to have to count on people to vote with their wallets and their time. In the case of a streaming service, it's voting with your time. You don't want to be shown to spend $600 million or more on a series of that import, right? The J.K. Rowling series of Harry Potter. You don't want to spend that kind of money at the end of the day and get nothing out of it. And if it's true that they're spending that kind of money per season, this is billions of dollars you're going to sink into something you're not going to complete because you got the casting wrong. And will definitely bankrupt your corporation. And if you consider just how much debt we read about at Warner Brothers, remember that part, the $37 billion in debt? Well, they may be able to saddle that with TV, but the streamers are going to quickly drop billions in debt if they do that. I mean, you could burn, I don't know, you could burn a couple $1 billion in a hole, which is what the series would be if they'd gone forward with that casting. But I could be wrong. Walter Tomaszewski says, my cat George snores. Good morning to you, Culture. Well, thank you for that. Juliet's here from across the pond. Great to see you. We got Butter Biscuits 92. Amazing. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for the support every day. Swift -1, otherwise known as Matt G, is in the house. One of the longest tenured mods here, along with D Bud Martin and many, many more. I just want to say I've got the best mods on the planet. I've got the best chat on YouTube and the best chat over on the Green Machine. It is so great to see you each and every day, folks. I appreciate your stellar support. Frank is here. That's right. Say hi to Frank. We got Tobach in the house saying hi to everybody. You guys are on fire. I love the fact that you guys say hi to each other, have conversations in the chat, keep things going even up to an hour ahead of the show. Amazing stuff. Carl Singh is out there. We got our friend and, well, long-term supporter, Michael Krinsky out there. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Tom is over on the green side as Magnify. And let's see who else is over there. Hey, Lord Thoth. This is one of the original mods way back in the day from the Great White North, eh? It's a beauty way to go. Member chat from Angelo Richter. 22 months, almost 2 full years. Amazing. Thank you. I really mean it. You guys that have been here for 2 years plus blow my mind. Made it on time. I am so glad you did, dear. Thanks for being here. Critisible the Rainbow Knight, our prismatic paladin, has returned once again. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well, and many, many more. Wow, look at all these folks. We're blessed. We got the Beach Dad here. Probably have Comics Dad hiding somewhere listening. Curtis Joseph is, like I said before, with his chat here a minute ago, is here chatting it up about everything. The lovely Sherry, of course, she's amazing. Appreciate her. Man, I love it. Grim, what's going on? Mark Nichols is here, one of our amazing professionals in the world. I would imagine just hanging out, listening. We've got the Bat Cap here, dropping by to say hi before daughter's 5th grade promotion. Congrats to Chloe. Congrats indeed. Thanks for sharing your life with us, the Bat Cap. Hope you're doing well, buddy. I'm praying for your family all the time. Joanna, good to see you. Hope you're doing well, dear. Hiya, Culture Senpai. Nah, I'm just here. I'm just Culture. When you see me in person, call me CC, call me Culture. You're going to have another name to call me in the near future as the reaction channel launches. I'm pretty proud of that. We've got all the graphics together. I'm ready to cook up the first video. Got to get a hold of Jill and Nadia and one of the other ladies that agreed to help. I just need to get a message from that person, either via X or email, one or the others. The email is actually, you can find me as the business contact. Email is actually a direct email to me. So you definitely want to hit that up if you ever want to send me an email. The lovely Jan Monroe is here. I get ads for every movie because of the pop culture vids I watch. No ballerina ads. Yeah, I think there was not quite the support that Lionsgate usually delivers. But I think that they got some bad indications early on that the film wasn't going to do well. I think the only reason the film didn't do well is some people didn't know what it was or when it was, and or even that it was, to be fair. I'll say it again. The final trailer does the film justice in a way that maybe they should have leaned on from the very beginning. But the 12 to 20 minutes of actual John Wick in the film doing John Wick things really was under promoted. And I think that may have hurt the film a little bit. Could be wrong. Hey, it's DJ Ronnie G. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Avarice Carmageddon is in the house. Follow the Bradley's Fun raid. That's right. You should follow the Bradley's Fun at Follow the Bradley's Fun because it's super fun and they're super great. Man, I'm having a good time this morning. I think I said hi to 11 Alpha. I hope I did. We've got more folks joining us this morning. Yeah. A blue sunflower. I'm gonna go spelunking for that. Yeah, Gavin News Scum. Speaking of which, I think is part of my my daily X tweets. I think he's actually featured in one soon. Just keep an eye out. If you don't know, I post daily X engagement tweets with thoughtful questions that will really inspire something: hate, love, laughter, anger. Yeah, I love to pull on those strings, and it's always a good time. So check out the X count again, Culture Casino on X and on Minds and on Getter, and pretty much everywhere that I've ever been. So there's that. Dan's Life, what's up? Dan's Life at the Kingdom. No way, News Scum. Hey, might be the next presidential candidate. Watch out. Let's see, a few more folks, and then we got to get into the story I want to talk about. Hey, you're late, but we're here. Thank you, Jed. Hey, I'm glad that you're here, my friend. It's great to see you. Ron is one of the best of us, and he's always entertaining, well informed, lots of background in the entertainment sphere. So that's somebody that maybe pay a little bit of attention to. Let's see. I'm way behind. I mean, I'm 9 minutes behind the chat. Let's pick it up and say thank you to who is here this morning gifting a Culture Casino membership. The amazing Hoove 6. Thank you for all the amazing bear stories. I will be using those this week. Thank you, dear. You are amazing. One of the best researchers out there, producers, and just general good humans. I think I did. Ex douchey McDouche. I binged that show over the weekend. It's pretty bad. I'll have to check it out. Let's see. King of the Mountain, 1954. King of the Monsters, of course. Thank you for the ballerina review. I went and saw the film yesterday, and wow, it was fun. I would have missed the movie had it not been for the first 2 minutes of the review. Well, thank you. I'm going to tell you, the people that were expecting like Girl Boss the movie, that is not it. Girl Boss the movie is going to be Fantastic Four Final Steps for the MCU. That's what that's going to be. I'm going to keep leaning on it because it keeps getting worse and worse, folks. But it's exactly what I was expecting from the word go. What nobody wants to admit is the government cannot afford to spend endlessly unless they want to decimate their economy. It's so true. Funny how it seems. 11 Alpha says, ideally, Esidu would have the integrity to back out. Yeah, I think that would be great. Hey, Pam, good morning, dear. Great to see you. All the lovely ladies from across the pond are joining us. I love it. We had a full female panel on the member stream for the greater part of it. It was amazing. I was hoping that 6 would join, but we had a good time. A lot of fun. Who else is out there? Stunt casting works less than half the time, but actual quality stunts work every time. We've seen that. And ballerina had amazing stunts. I'm going to just keep promoting things. Get mad if you want. Aldo's Journal's here. Aldo's Journal doesn't get mad. We got a hello, everybody. Well, hello and good morning. So great to see you. Who else? Let's see. We got so many of you. I'm still 7 minutes behind. Okay, if I miss you, it's not on purpose. It's because I'm too far behind to have a quality conversation. I think the common nerds are here, and they are great. And Dean Krantz is here. He's doing great. Chad St. John, of course, and so many others. But let's get into this last story that I want to talk about because I think it's important. Nintendo Switch just launched, and of course, I am supposed to be running a gaming channel, which I will be. Going to have Nolan Thunder helping me out primarily over there, and hopefully I get Loki back engaged for these conversations. But the Switch 2 is now out there in the world. Restocks have been happening regularly, and the concerns about scarcity are maybe or were slightly overblown. It's not that they're easily available and you can easily acquire them. It's that they've been reproduced at a regular rate. Obviously, as I said before, the tariffs didn't affect anything, and they weren't going to. The tariffs were a negotiating tool to get everybody closer to a flat space that, favors the country that buys everything, which is the United States. But that's neither here nor there. So this person over at Game Central actually went out and got a Switch 2. In fact, let's take a look at that story. They picked up the Switch 2. Oh, I forgot. Need to shrink this a lot. Hang on. Ooh. I've had a Nintendo Switch 2 for one day, and I'm not entirely impressed. This article was written on June 8th of 2025, and I just have to say, I understand some people's frustration. A reader gives their first impressions of Switch 2 and is disappointed by what they see as a lack of new features and a weak lineup of games, all of which are true. Some of the stuff that we talked about back when the revelations were made at one of the Nintendo streams. There's nothing in gaming more exciting than a new console, and this one still seems to be setting some console sales records. So at least as far as that goes, there's still interest. This is especially if you get it day one and know you're getting it as early as anyone else in the world, even most journalists, as it turns out. Figuring out what all the sockets do, attaching the Joy-Cons for the first time, plugging in the dock. I loved all that stuff, and it's very obvious that this is a well-designed and thought-out bit of kit. It is, and it has been. If you were looking at that and you were looking at a Steam Deck, you'd be happy with either. They have major features that you would require of an all-in-one handheld. This system certainly does that. So this writer says, I got my Switch 2 on Thursday, and so I've played it around 12 hours as I write this. And after the initial excitement ran out, I have to say that I do have a lot of concerns. Most of it is with Nintendo and the games, but the console has some issues too. True story. The LCD screen is a nasty backward step from the OLED. I agree. And it really makes me not want to use it. I know it would have been too expensive with an OLED screen. Not really. They've come down considerably. But I do wish they'd give us the option at launch rather than just try and make us double dip in a couple of years, which is what they're going to do. Although that won't be a mid-generation uh, upgrade, which a lot of consoles do about the halfway point of a generation life cycle. I think it'll be just something that they will get a big win with. I also worry about the connection between the Joy-Cons and the console. I know Nintendo thinks it's fine with the magnets and everything, and it is clever, but it worries me because it feels like it could snap even if they say it won't. But perhaps I'll just get used to that. The other more vague thing is the fact that the dashboard and interface is identical to the original Switch. By the way, they also went to super modern audience and really screwed up the Mii's. But that's a whole other conversation. I prefer the way Sony does things in each new PlayStation, having a new interface that builds on the previous one and sometimes isn't quite as good, but at least it feels new. This lack of new feeling stretches to the games too, like Mario Kart World is fun, but it's basically just Mario Kart 8 for 24 players, but with no anti-gravity sections. There's also the open world, but as people are starting to realize, this adds absolutely nothing to the game. Of course not. I think it's interesting that people wrote this entire review. It has nothing to do with the Grand Prix mode or the Knockout Tour, and there's very little to do if you just free roam. It's an impressively big world, but the only thing you can do is complete little tasks and get stickers for your cart. Yeah, see, I have a feeling that the Japanese are going to love that feature. Not so much for anybody else, but we'll see. Regardless, this goes on, and you can certainly find it over at Game Central. This article was featured on the metro.co.uk website. I'm going to tell you this much. I wasn't worried about getting one. I don't know about the rest of you, and I'm going to be checking your chats here in just a moment, but I wasn't worried about getting one. I didn't think it was all that much of an upgrade. I mean, it is going to look good. It's going to look great when you connect it to your 4K television, but is that it? I mean, the higher end that we get with our TVs, or just screens in general, there's only so much that the human eye can see. And there's a certain amount of exhaustion that comes with, getting bigger or getting more dense or just looking too realistic, too hyper realistic, that eventually you just kind of disconnect from things. One of the best mixes of graphics and everything else comes from games and consoles that just give you all the information that your eye can digest, your brain can comprehend at a very quick rate. Because really, isn't it more about frame rate and the ability to do things as fast as possible? Usually. And I just, once we get past 4K to 8K, why? What's the point? I honestly haven't seen much difference. Of course, I have older eyes, but put more into the processing power and the quality of your games, and I think you'll get better results. Maybe that's just me, but that article is worthwhile to finish up and to take a look at some of the videos that they provide. I kind of enjoyed it this morning, but me and my monkey. It's great to see you, my friend. And Robert is here, who's got a movie. Gotta check out Robert. Um, but I do look at things like that, like articles like that, and I wonder, am I not the only one that doesn't care so much about this upgrade? I always knew the games are going to be limited. Every single console has a problem with that. Being able to go back into your back catalog is probably a good thing, and having the ability to have older cartridges work in newer game system is perfect. But at the same time, I just didn't see a lot there. I didn't see the value. And apparently, some people aren't seeing the value now that they have the console. Larry Wells is out there, so I wonder if Disney even knows why each of the Fantastic Fours have their specific powers. I doubt it. I doubt it. They probably haven't read the books, other than the more recent ones, which is the whole reason comics collapsed. Everything there fell apart. I'm not sure if you guys, realized that they were racing to get to the new era for the modern audience, which turned everybody off. And with Feige saying about what, 6 years ago now? Is it more than that? 7? 7 years ago that he wanted to move more female centered back then. He certainly has done it, but it's destroyed the MCU. It's destroyed interest. It's insulted the fans. And that's the other problem. Everybody's still insulting the fans. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody wants to see actors like Pedro Pascal or any of this other um, female-centered stuff. They want out of it. I mean, you can try and create a bunch of wimps and line them up as superheroes, but it's not going to connect with the audience because the characters weren't originally developed to be that, and they never really sold when they were made into that. Bad ideas. Oh, anyway. Hi, Psychotic Mongoose is in the house. Great. And so is Tina Guzman. Good to see you. We got, we got a few of you. Avarice Carmageddon says Switch 2 is just a marked up Switch 1 with games you don't own. Yeah. True story. Jeremiah Hembry says, is Mr. David still the CEO of Warner Brothers? Yeah. David Zaslav is still the CEO as far as I know. But he's only CEO of one of the things, I think, going forward. So, because again, you're getting two companies for the price of one. Ben Scott, it's not just this one guy. That's just an example article that I use of some sentiment that I've seen around pretty recently. And I can understand all the shortcomings, can't you? Limited catalog of games and changes to the Me system and a bunch of other things like that. I mean, concerns about the Joy-Cons, which I had. I thought was a great idea, but there's reason to have concerns there. And you can buy a PC for the cost of a Switch 2. It's true. A lot of money. Of course, you could also buy a Steam OS-driven handheld, which Steam Deck is great. I can play everything I can play on my PC on it, and it looks really good. Oh, I can also plug it into the hotel television as well. I can play on an external controller, do a lot of things. Pretty cool. I knew someone named Joy once, and she conned me. Our great friend, pal, buddy, who was only on the member stream for a few minutes, said, "New show, Ice Riot Casino. Watch live as I airdrop Culture to make peace. Oh boy, in L.A. The twist: Culture gets dropped wearing painted blackface and red MAGA hat. Yeah, that's not going to turn out well for me." Mike, I appreciate you trying to get me more views, but I think that would just drive a lot of hate my direction. I don't think that's going to be a party. But thank you. You are amazing, sir. I appreciate you very much and your support. Oh, goodness. Then we got another super duper chat from our good friend, King of the Monsters 1954 for 5 more Culture Casino cash. He says, "Thanks again, Culture. Do you think Toho will make another War of the Gargantus? I can't say gargantuous. I can't. Um, you're making me pronounce words a challenge for me. Show a Godzilla verse. Yeah, I think you're gonna get. I think you're gonna get monster on monster kaiju battles. I really do. I think we need to go back to introducing the legendary kaiju's, and I think the opportunity to do that was started with -1. And I think the next film, which is in the works, I think is going to introduce even more. I'm so excited um, for what the potential is for Toho actually grinding out what they originated, let's say. So I'm pretty stoked. Aldo's Journal says, "I didn't leave my house this weekend, Culture. People are crazy in LA more than ever, which is insane to say by itself." Yeah, I know. And then this, like I said, I love California, specifically Southern California, but I am sad. I'm so sad. Very sad. There was great areas to live. Los Angeles, I mean, specifically the garment district, which is, you could basically the fashion area for LA was amazing. And the fabrics you could shop for and everything else. I mean, there was a lot there. If you were creative at all, that was one of the great places to go. And of course, that's not far from one of my favorite restaurants, the Water Grill, which I don't even think is there anymore. One of the best restaurants in Los Angeles area. And again, you know, because the cities connect to each other completely now, there's really the only distinction is the 3 different sections of California. You have Southern California, Central California, and Northern California. NoCal is a nightmare now. I mean, they went full Portland, Oregon. And, all that was because of what happened with San Francisco, and that bled everywhere in the northern part of the state, outside of the forest areas. Because if you're anywhere near the coast, you're just doomed. Society's completely imploding up there. Oh, real quickly. So we do have, like I said, the How to Train Your Dragon live action film coming up this weekend. So I will be there on Thursday, and I will try to get the review out Thursday night. I'm really not as excited as I was because now that I'm seeing that they're admitting to more and more changes, some of which had already been rumored, this isn't going to resonate the way that they would have hoped, because obviously they built a whole land about it at Universal Epic Universe, and they're going to deliver the original animated version there, and this new live action is going to be nothing like it, at least not only from the dialogue, but from the characterizations and obviously the casting issues. But hey, Jess, what's up? No reason for me to get one. I haven't seen anything to make it worth it. Neither have I, my friend. Neither have I. I would make smoother and higher frame rates than pixels. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, one of the best things I dug out GTA 5. My goal is to get everything in the game I haven't gotten before in another playthrough. So I fired that up, realized that my eyes are terrible, but at the same time, even on the PS5, I would appreciate better frame rate. I just would. I mean, you get what you get with it, but I mean, to be fair, the monitor that's sitting in front of me has crazy frame rate. what is it, like 240 or something? It's like, you know, and the refresh rate, I should say, but the frame rate, is still, it's capable of doing ridiculous frames. It's capable of giving me, wide curved screen performance, and it's capable of dialing that back. Like when I play like Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I need to put as much information on the screen as possible, including chat windows and stuff like that. So this is a screen that's more than capable. But when I really want to get into a game and I want to play it with the highest frame rate, I have to sit at this computer because the TV doesn't even deliver that. I've got one TV in this house, a 65 inch 4K with that 240 refresh rate, and that probably is the best TV to play things on. It's also a 3D television, which gives me 120 frame rate when it's in 3D mode. But my whole point is, I think refresh rate is something everybody should shoot for, and OLEDs are really, you know, better looking than regular LEDs. There's a reason for that. Six says, Culture reads the articles in Playboy. I'm not. In my youth, I may have been tempted to read the articles. Now I don't even look at those types of things. So there's that. Jed says, Culture, I didn't care for that either. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, this is a good question. Hoove celebrating 14 months here. Says Ruby Hoove gave me the R365 Linux-based handheld game system. I've heard a lot about these. Things been a blast. It's basically a handheld emulator for classic games across a wide swath of systems and studios. Anyway, everyone have a great day. I'm going to tell you right now, having the handheld, especially when I'm traveling, whether it be on a plane or in a long road trip where I'm not driving, of course, it's stellar, And I have family members that have a wide variety of these things. But thanks for being here for 14 months, Hoove. You are incredible. Jan says, I hate to say this, but I'm a typical woman gamer. Nothing wrong with that. The boss is too. I play casual games on my tablet and on my phone. My computer is for work. It's off as much as it can be. Yeah, well, the boss does some computer stuff, but mostly it's phone, tablet, and her own Switch. So we have two Switches so that we can compete, and she can beat me at Mario Kart, which happens all the time. And also at golf, occasionally she whoops me. Pretty wild. Donkey Kong does look good, but yeah, it's an expense. That's the other question. Are you gonna buy a console for one game? I don't think so. And you have to think that when GTA 6 is released, a lot of people are just going to be playing that. So it doesn't matter where they buy it, whether it be for console or eventually for PC. I'm not sure if we're getting it. I think they delayed the PC release too, but I could be wrong. I just hope I get it day one. Dean Krantz says, if Marvel had a female character like Vampirella or Lady Death, I might take a look, but they can't write them either. They can't write anything. There's no creativity out there. Hey, Humphrey Bear is here. Good to see you. Female Marvel fan here. Hey, Heartless Shroom. I was perfectly happy with the way the franchise was before the MCU. I'm not sure who exactly the target audience was supposed to be. The modern audience, the one that doesn't exist, that we've been pointing out now for 3 phases. You're targeting an audience that doesn't exist and never will. And what's really weird is their language isn't working anymore. The relabeling things, the words toxic masculinity don't mean anything, and people are recognizing that and spouting about it all the time now. The only place that toxic masculinity had ever been used because everyone likes to pretend they're an academic, was in prisons. And it was used during, well, some observations, again, by eggheads. And there's nothing wrong with eggheads, but their eggheadedness needs to, be out in the academic area and not invade our society. And this is why words mean things. So when you take words out of place, which is something that's done quite often, you end up with them being used like nonsense and to attack people. That's a problem. The overuse of the word narcissism now. Problem. Now, has there been an increase in narcissism? Of course, you have social media, but when you look at that, it's overused by people that probably don't understand the actual definition of things, and I'm getting tired of that. I think a lot of people are. Hey, there's Andy Masterson, the creator, the most talented man on YouTube, on the internet. As a matter of fact, you can check out Andy's store and buy action figures of people like myself, if you so choose. Or Doomcock, many others. There's a lot of us out there. Jan says, I was in a room with a 20-year-old and she told me, oh boy, she told me that the new modern MCU was not made for me. I pointed out that Gen X spends money too, but since I'm old enough to be her grandma, she can't share. Man, Jen's on fire today. I also hate any movie that spends all this time bashing one of the sexes. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't care if you're bashing men or bashing women. We are all put here for a reason, and hating each other is not it. Yep. That's my favorite statement these days. Not it. Yeah. Speaking of which, I have a doctor's appointment coming up, so I will not be on Midnight's Edge in the morning. I'm sorry. Speaking of which, I need to make sure I redirect to Midnight's Edge in the morning because that was not available to me when I set up the stream last night. But I do want you to check that out. Because they're going to cover box office and all kinds of things, and I think you will all appreciate it. Plus, they're going to cover the bigger story of the day, which is the Warner Brothers Discovery breakup of TV and streaming, which I'm starting to feel like you're going to see more and more of this done. Everybody's going to follow in the footsteps of NBC Universal and kick all the underperforming junk that they can't outright get rid of with one foul swoop to the other side of the curb, or the other curb anyway. You guys are great. Hey, Bill Blum, what's up, my friend? Burning the 600,000 each Waymo vehicles was very inappropriate. Steal them, then burn them for the cameras. Yeah, well, welcome to Los Angeles. What a hot mess. Culture reminiscing about the fine fabrics that could be purchased in the garment district that have just pushed him 100% over the gay line. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Man, there were some cool fabrics. I'm just saying. You ever wanted to look like a Muppet? You could do that. Anyway, Aldo's Journal dropped $5 in Culture Casino cash. Thank you for that, Aldo. And survey says, I want my dad, who I owe waking me up to the global agenda, but speaks no English, to meet you. I bet you guys would agree with a lot and become best friends for life. Probably, Aldo. I mean, it like I said, it's not just the folks in Marca or the folks around the world. I mean, I look at the people that I interact with on a daily basis, whether they be from Brazil or from Ireland or from London, England, or the people that I know in Japan, in South Korea, and the Philippines and Thailand. When we talk back and forth, everybody knows what's going on and we know what's driving it. And we know we have to disassemble it and we need to do it quickly. We're running out of time. Poland is headed the right direction. Italy's headed the right direction. They need to bust up the EU because it's not worked for the people that it was supposed to, and it's actually deflated the only economic engines that were working in, especially Germany. And the people that I talked to in Germany recognize this, that the minute they inserted somehow the green agenda into the EU through the EU, it stifled everything, their economy, their productivity. It's destroyed, you know, all types of quality employment there, all because of something that, well, is now you're starting to see all the things come out about how bologna sausage that is. If you realize that the ice mass that's around the pole has increased by 19%. In my lifetime, I have seen a cascade of lies around this concept of trying to control things and trying to guilt people into doing stuff. And at the end of the road, it's all about money and power, acquiring more money and more power through the use of shaming or leverage or just outright lies and manipulation. That's not the way to get that done. Just doesn't work. So, but thank you for that. I appreciate that, Aldo's Journal. Oh, and 6, I saw your comment. I have many televisions in the media room. There's 2. Actually, technically, there's 3. One of them's on the floor that's going to go become a confidence monitor in a studio room, but that's a different conversation. Modernity is an overused word. Yeah. Well, we've got a lot of overused words now, but yeah, it is what it is. All right. I got to scroll through a couple more of these because I need to get going to the doctor. The Wild Man of Yavin for 5. Culture Casino Cash says, Happy Monday, everybody. My son and I are going to go karting. Oh, that is so much fun. Shortly. Hope you all have as much fun today as we are about to have. Me too. Me too. Someday when I do get to the UK, hopefully that works out at the end of the summer this year for me. Of course, that'll be after I go to and from Tennessee. But if I get to do that, I will go karting with Bo, the history bro, and Mr. H. That's going to be a lot of fun. But I hope you have a good time today. Now you got me wanting to go to one of the 2 indoor tracks we have here. We'll see. Ice mass around the pole. It's true. Oh, the lovely Sherry. I'm so very sorry. 29 years ago, I lost my dad, and it still feels like yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. Some losses are always there. And I'm sorry. But I'm glad you're here, dear. You're amazing. All right. On that note, I got to get going. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. For those who sent super chats, especially those of you gifted green, you're amazing. The people that gave away the memberships and all of that. You are absolutely the best. I appreciate you. And we will be dropping more videos here over the course of the next 5 or 6 days. And hopefully we get to kick off the new channel in time for you to enjoy some wild stuff. I'm going to run you a little bit of a racy commercial. And then we'll be headed out. All right, here we go. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.
Oh, the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a cock, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock here and a cock there. Here a cock, there a cock, everywhere a cock. Old culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.